Tommy Slocum.
How are you, Tommy?
Ptolemy.
Oh, it's Ptolemy.
Tommy, what's up?
Oh,
Hey, how you
you're
guys
killing
doing?
him. His name is Ptolemy.
Is it Tommy or Ptolemy?
No, Tommy is correct.
Tommy is correct. All right.
You got a question here for Matt or Paul?
Yeah, I have a. I mean, what you guys are talking about back lines a little bit. Some
I don't
extent, is
know
that
where
correct?
he's from, so.
Yeah, we have no cans.
Oh,
Right.
You're talking about back lines?
Mark does, but at least
Yeah.
he's not on our radio show.
Yeah. I'm trying to interact with you.
oh,
He's trying to interact with you, man.
I love it. He's trying to interact. Hang on a sec. Okay, ask your question, and I'll relay it to him. Here we go.
Okay, you guys are talking about back lines, correct?
yes.
Yes.
Okay. How do you handle the feeling sometimes like that kind of floats through your mind in the back line that the people on stage don't know what they're doing, and that you're a little bit better than they are, and that is like a negative feeling, but it sometimes happens. So like, how do you negotiate that and make that into something that's like productive?
It's not a bad question, actually. How often do you interact with people who really have never? Are you talking about the fact that you haven't had the same opportunity to do improv like these two on stage or whatever, and you feel like what you're watching is subpar as to what you would be able to create? Is that what you're trying to say?
I feel like I'm very good at improv.
So
far your call is
So
great.
your question basically being that you're in the back line and what's going on is kind of a train wreck in front of you.
I'll be honest. Sometimes I'm watching something and it's not good, and either I feel negative feelings towards it, or if I don't do something about it, then I start to get defeated, and I stop working. I just this show's dead.
It turns you off.
Okay, I think I get what he's talking about.
Yeah.
He's talking about when you're on stage as an experienced performer and you're watching someone, you're on stage, you're sharing stage with people who are less or experienced, or for whatever reason, they're doing a scene that's not going well.
Gotcha.
And he's saying that he just feels like it's going dead inside, and he feels like if he goes in, it looks like it makes him look bad or it makes them look bad. But if he stays out, then it sucks the energy out of the room.
Is that what you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whoever was talking there seemed like the smartest person in the room.
That's
Matt, and
that's
no, that's not correct.
extraordinarily accurate. No, yeah,
But he
but
go to college for a whole year.
yeah, he's the one who worked with Wayne Brady. So there you go. There you go. No, what do you recommend?
At the end of the day, I understand I understand the question, I understand the feelings, but at the end of the day, I've definitely done a lot of shows with people who are lesser experienced, and I've even encouraged people who have lesser experience to get up on stage with me. So, at the end of the day, you're doing theater, and so the only words of advice I ever give someone who is less experienced, if I get to talk to them before we go on stage, I'll say, just play your character and play them hard. Don't overthink. Don't change your choices. Just make sure you keep your choices going in one place, in one direction, and I'll know what to do with it.
Even in a game, in a game format, is it all about the moment, not so much about what you're adding to the moment?
If I ever see a scene tanking, I have a go-to breaking case of glass character I called Fancy Bottom Lady. And so basically, I just come on the stage, and you'll indulge me for a
I
moment.
feel like I'm listening to Penn and Teller give away their secrets.
So
right
I'll
now.
come out on, oh boy, I am a lady with a fancy bottom. I bet my fanny got hurt somehow. I must have sat on a bumblebee. What happened?
I sincerely hope this is helping you.
So that way I've saved the scene. Not only have I saved the scene, but I've also made my fellow players look brilliant.
Tommy, are you involved in a troupe of performers?
I guess so.
Do you have a coach?
Well, not like right now.
No,
like,
well, a lot of times.
Currently,
Well, my suggestion, a lot of times performers that like to do improv will get together, and they don't really have their own set of structure where there is a guidance factor, and that may be something that you may want to look into.
Yeah.
That your group can agree on having somebody coach you to where they won't be. They won't come down on you for telling them that they need to work on something, to where you can have a little bit more energy and a little bit more confidence jumping in on the back line
There's
to
also a
make
question,
them look good too.
Also a question of exposure. How often do you get out and see improv, Tommy? I mean, maybe that's another thing. Is oftentimes when you get out, and I know set is every Monday. I know happy hour improv is every
I
Wednesday.
actually have a hard time watching improv because you know, once you do improv for a while, you get to the point where you judge it kind of so hard that it's like almost not enjoyable to watch anymore. And I don't know if I need to like take a break or
why do you continue to do improv then, if I might ask? I mean, it kind of seems like a harsh. Okay.
No, hey, you know.
But that, I mean, part of that involves you performing with other people, and invariably, if you're the best one out there, you're going to always be performing with somebody less.
I just think it's an interesting point of topic that people have to deal with. They're like going through their improv careers, like because I think the act of judgment in improv is difficult in two directions, both directions, like too much and like if you judge too much or you let yourself like internally is bad and externally. And I think it's an interesting like thing to talk about with people who are kind of just starting out with improv.
Well, I would argue if that's the same for theater as well, though. You know what I mean? I mean, any sort of performing art.
Else, yeah.
You're always going to find yourself with performers of varying skill levels, and there has to be that passion of doing it for the sake of the pure enjoyment of doing it, and you know, beyond that, then there's got to be an outside influence to keep you.
Now here's the
positive.
thing: I'm an incredible baker. You know, I can bake things wonderfully. I just don't enjoy it, so I don't do it often. You know, I think you have to I think you have to love doing what you're doing before you can do it well. I mean, I can do it, but if I really love baking cakes, I bet you I could be a phenomenal baker, but it's not my thing, so I don't do it. So I guess that's the first thing is I would recommend is maybe if you enjoy it, if you're not enjoying it, maybe reassess why you still are conflicted with trying to do it.
I think you know, he's talking about the judgment thing and trying to keep judgment out of it, and I feel him 100%. I think that's a harder thing to do in a larger improv community because there is so much of this clicking up and these peers that you're trying to impress.
It's a lot more competitive.
Yeah, it's more competitive. You get on the stage and you're out there to prove an agenda. I mean, for God's sake, some improv communities base a troupe's success rate on their LPM or laughs per minute. And I'm like, you seriously are going to judge? I mean, give me a break. Now, you know, you've got to have a good, well-grounded scene before it can even really start to get truly funny. And that could be a minute in and of itself where there's maybe not a laugh. But, yeah, so I think we're blessed in this community. Small as it is, I can get up on that stage and do whatever because there isn't that judgment. At least I don't feel it. And I think, to a degree,
Matt's looking at you.
We're a little more easygoing on each other as a whole. Well, I mean, I judge Matt because that's you know what I do. But I don't know, what were you gonna say, Matt?
Oh no, it's hard. I think when you're in a smaller scene like the Las Vegas scene, it's a little different because you want everyone. Like right now, we're still trying to create an awareness as to what's been going on here for years, and there's still a lot of people in Las Vegas who don't even know what improv is or don't even know that it happens around here.
Or has that misconception.
So we're a smaller scene trying to like fight against, you know, just I don't know if ignorance is the word, but just a lack of awareness that we exist and that we're pretty good at what we do. Whereas when you're in larger cities, it's a lot harder. More experienced groups tend to bundle up on the same nights. Lesser groups have a hard time finding stage time, trying to get more experienced people.
Get paid for it.
Pay for stage time. So we're in a different scenario in Las Vegas versus other cities.
Well, I hope that answered your question, Tommy. I appreciate you calling in. Hang on, we're going to get you tickets to the Happy Hour Improv Jam, and we'll and we'll get you set up there. But thank you for calling. Hang on the line, okay? Yep.
And with that, I'm guessing we probably need to take another little quick
need to take another commercial break so that I can go.
We need to get our LPMs up a little bit, too.
We do, so we'll look at that. You're listening to Curtain Call with Erik Ball. and this is Fancy Pants. What was it?
Happened? Fancy Bottom Lady.
Curtain Call with Fancy Bottom Lady.
There we go. We're going to take a little break. We'll be right back after just a minute.